Nornless would, after having a conversation with everyone at the Toad's Tavern, would lead them back to his house slash shop, Fakrano's and Felden's Folio. And tell them, you are all welcome to stay here for the interim. At the moment, I do need to actually speak with Miss Niflis and Mr. Abaddon just separately for a moment. And he will lead you probably just to his bedroom, which is the most private it can be at the current moment. Yes, we have on our person some frightfully dangerous items that do not inherently benefit us in carrying. I believe that I may be able to find as beneficial a home in this current political environment as possible, likely for a sum of coin. Think I can inquire to the headmaster of the library to purchase them from us and thus sell them or be reimbursed through the capital of Gress itself when they would reach out and hand them over to the royalty there. I do not wish to carry one of these especially. I do not wish to carry Tiefling on me anymore. I would like to see that truthfully destroyed, but I don't think we have the power for that. Instead, if we handed it to a force in which could potentially use it more righteously than the risk of the other forces of this world gaining clemency of it, that might be beneficial. But it is not just my call. We have acquired these items together, but I do wish especially to part from Tiefling. And as far as Issa's egg goes, I think it'd be beneficial if we left it with someone who could attempt to rear it into growth once more, but just carrying on our own, it's susceptible to damage, destroyal. I'm certain that Victorion would have wanted it to get reared up to a proper age, regardless of what that may entail. And it might be beneficial for us to part with that one as well. But, Miss Abaddon, Miss Niflis, what say you?
I mean, Sardonyx isn't gonna come back, so the egg kind of needs someone to take care of.
You meant Victorion, but I understand.
What? Oh, sorry. Not used to
Are you
being
putting death on me?
One more time.
I don't know.
You'd be there in the group. Wait, what did you ask? Oh, so you asked it in the character, sorry.
Yeah, what did you ask? I didn't quite understand it, Amethyst.
Oh no, I just asked if he's wishing death on me.
Oh.
Like, what?
I thought you asked if you're in the party, and I was like, oh.
I don't believe that's what he meant. No, I think...
Three people.
No.
I
think it was a mental flub. But, continue, Mr. Abaddon, yes?
Well, look, Victorion isn't gonna come back. If we're gonna continue with that egg, it's just gonna be worse for all of us. Do we still have that hand?
No, I believe, Mr. Morotar took that with him. For better or for worse.
Oh, yeah.
I've got faith in him.
That's
the
okay.
Wrong person to have it, but maybe.
Well,
actually, maybe not.
Ian.
Right, go
on. No, I think in our possession currently, it's my eye,
yes,
your axe,
yes,
and Miss Niflis's mask, as well as you now have a fire within you. I don't think you can actually quite part with that one. I think you're stuck with that one, so we couldn't get rid of it even if we wanted to, unfortunately.
Do a Arcana check.
I am fine. I just... That's okay. No, thank you.
Okay. You don't have to. Okay.
Yeah.
So well,
Just a general
I would
question.
honestly I could insight E2. But yeah.
Just a general
These are-
question. I have
Yes.
quite a few bars of extremely heavy electrum in my backpack.
Oh,
What can we do with that? Because it's really killing my back.
I'm no expert in metals, but I do believe that electrum is quite good with enchanting, if I recall correctly. I think the library may very well purchase that from you in full value.
Oh,
I do think that might be something we can look into. No, absolutely. And we can touch back on that in just a moment, but I do want to lock in and figure out what are your opinions on attempting to part with Tiefling and Issa's egg.
I'm not a babysitter. The egg can go for all I care.
Okay. Miss Nicholas?
Sword,
I say if we can't use it, we get rid of it.
Okay. So we will be parting with Issa's egg then, it sounds like. What of the sword? It is terribly dangerous. Unfortunately, I think it is more dangerous to stay with us than without us.
I think that's a tricky one.
Yes, it is. I'm of the mind that none of us can wield it aptly, and it comes at a grave cost anytime we do manage to wield it. And truthfully, I think this could be a very expensive boon that we could grant to the kingdom. Expensive to them,
Indeed.
and expensive in our pockets to fund whatever we need to fund. I suppose the question is, are you against parting with it?
no.
No. Tiefling is higher risk. And
I think then we will part with it then. I think I will take myself and Miss Nicholas to the library then. Mr. Abaddon, if you could keep watch on my home and our new friends for a moment. It will only be, I imagine, 30-45 minutes while we go and try to broker that trade real fast.
Sure, just take the electrum, please. It's really, really heavy.
Normalist takes it and promptly drops it.
No, you have to hold it. You see, you use the thumb and the index finger.
I'm sorry, let me
Also
try
near your
again.
floors.
Okay, I can carry it now. Holy fuck.
It's 20 pounds. It's 20 pounds, bro.
No, I nat 20'd on a strength save. I wasn't expecting that.
Your only natural 20.
Right. Miss Nicholas, would you help me carry these? I think I have like 3/4 of them, but if you could grab the rest.
I can try.
Oh, look, it's only
excellent.
20.
How many did you say you have? 5? 50? 100?
It's 10 bars, total of 20 pounds.
Okay. Okay, so wow, much less than I was actually thinking. Never mind. I thought you meant each bar was 20 pounds. Okay.
No, then I would legitimately be crushed to death.
I was like, that's a lot of weight. Yeah, no, we'll take them and we'll see if we can broker. I will take them and see if I can broker a trade for those as well. Yes?
Yours are one?
How many bars were there?
He said 10.
I have a quick meta question for you guys. Is
Yes.
there any magic items or other things, but mainly magic items or I guess gems that you guys intend to sell?
I don't. Not on my
I-
part, I don't
I-
think.
I have some gems. I have some gems.
No, I thought you sold those in the city that I sold them in. No? There was a
That
jeweler
was-
there.
Yeah,
Oh, I-
you guys are briefly in.
Oh! No, every bar is £20.
Okay. That does sound
Oh.
more correct. Okay. I'm glad I made that strength saving throw. I'm going to hobble my way towards the library then. The walk is going to take twice as long because now I am over encumbered.
Sorry for the interruption.
No, you're good. That's fucking important information to have.
Yeah, the jewelry stuff would have been in Mannerfell. Yeah, the library would be a place you could definitely like take the that electrum material to for like rune services and some other stuff.
Yes.
But they'll have use for it. It's not to say there wouldn't be. I guess I don't have a metallurgy place or a straight up blacksmith in town. I mean, there probably would be. I just don't have it listed on the map.
I don't know. What is Scum
but
Babo's rocks and things?
Oh yes, yeah. Actually, yeah. I guess it would be that. That would be gemstones and then also boulders.
Okay, so probably not. Normalist would know
No,
that.
yeah, no. I guess also some stuff like that. I guess. Yeah.
You do have a rune smithy.
Yeah, that was kind of my mentality. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that was kind
Yeah,
of
there's
my
also
mentality. So,
It's got the word smithy in it, so
Yeah.
they're probably like metals.
so Normalist will, we're kind of like really over encumbered right now, so it's a slow walk, but we're gonna, with, Sardonyx, we're going to walk towards the library with Issa's egg, Tearfling, and 10 20-pound ingots.
And would you have also
10, oh,
brought the Claire sword with you, or do you have left that at your house?
That's
I have-
probably with us.
Okay.
That can happen anytime within the 3 days, so that's not like,
Yeah. I did assume you were taking it to the runesmithery, which is why I'm asking.
yeah. So Norlis would make a meeting with the headmaster and knock on his door.
Oh, you're going to the headmaster first? I thought you're.
I
Oh, I
mean,
thought you were going to runesmithing first. I'm sorry.
Sure, we'll go to
Okay.
Runesmithing first. It's of
Okay,
no
it doesn't
it's
matter.
no
Just, I didn't know
actual
if you were going to the
consequence.
headmaster with like Electrum in hand.
It's of no real consequence.
Okay.
Whichever you prefer.
Also, okay. So by the way, you guys are doing this private, not with the not with Korim or Jevabu with you, right?
Correct. It's just myself and
Okay.
Sardonyx
Because otherwise
currently.
Jevabu probably could carry the gold Electrum pretty easily. But yeah. Okay. So as you knock, finally the headmaster kind of. Well, they said headmaster. To call this is more so of a person who's like the head of the primary library, but also functions in that.
I
role.
couldn't think of
Just to be
anything
clear.
better as a title than headmaster. So
I
that's
know
just,
it
like
works.
I don't think there is there something like that you call the head librarian, like
I guess that would be what this guy is basically.
Okay,
He's like
yeah.
the head of a primary library.
yeah,
There's library director, but besides that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So they open the door, and they seem to then kind of walk back and sit on their desk, or sit next to by their desk. Hello. Wait, let me get my energy into it. Oh, ha ha ha. Oh, ha ha ha.
Crazy.
How's it been? Do you have any additional things to discuss from the other day?
Yes. Curiously, I'm not certain of all security parameters within the library, headmaster. But how secure is the room we are in right now?
Depends.
From prying
If
eyes
one were
and
to stand
ears,
right
is-
outside the door, they might be able to hear some context. This is not a fully secure environment. If you wish to, there is some places we can discuss more secure matters if it
Yes,
is
yes,
of great
I-
significance.
I do strongly believe that is the case, yes.
Okay. They kind of look at you, and they think back to location, like to why you might be saying this, and then they kind of like they look towards some papers, and they kind of get like a sudden shock on their face. Okay, follow me. And they kind
we
of
do.
okay. They kind of go from the halls and they kind of look behind you. Did you intend for your two is this directly private or will the Tiefling, I believe they said there's Abaddon and the other person be I don't wait, it was Sardonyx did you address Sardonyx last time you were with him?
I'm sorry?
Did you but they knew who Sardonyx is based off like
I think
last
so,
time it was
yeah.
discussed.
I think
Okay.
so, yeah.
And I believe her name was Sardonyx. Would they be discussing this with as well, or is this
Sardonyx is
Abaddon
with me. Sardonyx is
not.
with me. Abaddon is not.
Oh, I know. That's Abaddon's not. I missed that. Okay.
Yes,
In that
Abaddon
case,
is not with us. Abaddon is back at the house, keeping an eye on the smallest person we've ever met and the largest person we've ever met.
Okay. Norlis, I assume this would entail that this person with us, Sardonyx, is also to be in here. Okay.
Yes, yes.
You get to a their voice is kind of shifted from being upbeat and kind of ecstatic and a little bit over top to a far more humbled voice in the moment.
Yes.
They take you to what seems kind of like a vault of sorts, and they kind of unearth it a little bit, and they finally you kind of walk in, they start to lock it behind. Okay. What'd you find?
Just to reaffirm, this is Dave from Magical Prying Eyes and Ears, yes? Currently? Or no?
In the for the most part, yes.
Okay. In my journey, with my friend here and a few others, we came across several terribly powerful items. One of which is mine, and I will be keeping it for the time being. And with that, Norlis opens his left eye. Revealing,
Oh,
yes.
I have.
Trust
I have
in
stories,
you.
I can tell, but I'm
You
not,
are the only
I'm
one
not
within the
who you might
city.
think I am. Sorry.
Oh, by the way, I have see invisibility, just innately, so I can see any scrying orbs. I just remember that right now.
Yeah, there are no in this room at the moment. You do not see any like magical entities.
Yeah, like you can see
as in
invisible
unseen
sensors of
servants or
scrying.
anything
Or,
like that.
yeah, okay. I just remember that right this second, so I could have checked without even asking.
Yeah.
Yes, this is paramount to a goal of mine. You are currently the only person that knows of this in the city, and I intend to keep it that way. It is for that reason that I feel it is... For what it is worth, Headmaster, I do trust you to be on the right side of history and political agreements and whatever superficial words I could toss into this sentence. We are burdened for time, so while otherwise we would do it ourselves, we are asking you to serve as a intermediary or a fence in order to give these other items we have currently to the kingdom, the royalty within Gress, that they may use it to protect us from invaders. The first one you are likely aware of. You may not draw this blade ever. You yourself, this is only ever to be drawn on the battlefield, and even then scarcely.
I have to cut you off. If what I think you are about to describe is what it is, I personally would recommend you not to give it to the Jarldom. If you do that, the outcomes could be significant, and although I believe in my, kingdom and all, from what I understand, how do I can't even say this simply? I believe what was done in Waldsea was not ethical by any means, and was by all means some of the most horrific acts of war or violence within this century. I would be. However, I can't stop you if you wish to do that. Nor do I have particularly great other options to tell you who to donate that to. I have a couple, but again, I'll leave it up to you. I mean, it's typically I think there are worse things in their hands, and they already have worse. But not to say that I have disdain for my kingdom or anything like that, but
No.
in some ways I
Understand.
do.
It's much like it is in all politics. It's choosing the lesser of two evils. I would rather these items be wielded by our side than the opposing. And I would rather that than continue to carry it on our persons and risk completely random and unknown people with unknown goals and unknown alignments to acquire it. Should they steal it from us? Should they slay us in our travels? The risk is far too great. I'd rather have some inclination of knowing where it is going, and that it is in general may not be in perpetuity being used to help preserve the places I would call home.
Okay.
If you have an ulterior goal, a third party that you trust more, that may be more beneficial, I will put my trust in you. I am not some genius of a man. I'm a mere scholar that happened to be forced to delve into the world of magic, and happened to be lucky and fortunate enough to acquire a group of members, a group of people that were able to acquire this item itself. I simply do not want to continue to carry it on our persons. And if we could be compensated for such in a way that may help our efforts further in the future, that is the ideal I'm looking for currently.
I have much to say, but first, before I kind of get into that, you said there was a second item?
Yes, I haven't rightfully brought out the first, but I'm certain you know what it is. And he reaches under his cloak and pulls out, still sheathed in its sheath, Tearfling, and sets it down
Oh,
on...
I thought that was the first item.
That is the first item. I haven't pulled it out.
Okay,
We were
okay.
talking about.
Okay.
And I'm materializing a table in this chamber right now. There's now a table. I set the sword down on the table. The second one, I'm not certain I know what it is. Or you may know what it is. This is an item steeped in great mythos. I surmise that it may be the egg of a creature of catastrophe. And under his unending billowing cloak, he pulls out a whole egg as well, because that's just I'm fucking inventory boxing this like a video game right now. I have no idea how big Issa's egg actually is. I feel like it's the size of a mini fridge.
From my understanding, it's about a foot tall.
Okay, so much smaller than I actually
Maybe
thought
like
it
11
was.
inches, yeah.
Okay, so that's much more reasonable.
Big enough to make an omelet.
Every egg is.
Yeah, it's like a more of a, like an ostrich egg, but bigger. Yeah.
And I set that down on the table in front, to the side of Tearfling. I believe that this may be the egg of the Endbringer.
I know what this is.
I believe they call it the Endbringer, the thing that launches
not-
Ragnarok. I might be
not
misremembering my
quite.
mythos. Like,
I
me,
think I know what
myself.
this is, but I'll be honest with you, I don't expect most to. How do I even go about this? Since this is such a private space, I'll be direct. Most people don't really realize this, but that conflict 1,000 years ago was not necessarily one the dwarves were all involved in. That was, how do I say, one of our contributions.
What
That
was?
the egg that you have shown before me.
Okay.
It is Fafnir. Or it is a aspect of Fafnir per se. It's a little complicated and I don't fully know the details. And I'm happy for that. But simply put, it is that's something I can deal with. There are people at the university who can study this, and I can be more accepting of its use, or when things come, if the Jarldom really comes digging, and things can go in intense directions with it, but not necessarily in the same way as the other thing you showed me. I can accept this and I know who to give it to, is what I'm saying. If you want, I will be viewing this from the perspective, though, that you are donating a magical anomaly or perhaps draconic object. That's how we'll be viewing this, and I can compensate you to a reasonable extent.
That's more than acceptable, I believe.
I think at least 9 to 10,000 gold, but perhaps more. I don't want to make... It could argue a little more than that, but I don't want to make too much of a...
Ripple.
Yes. The other thing, the tiefling, I'll be direct. There are a couple people I trust with such a thing. One is the current mayor of Nor. They are the one who was, from my understanding, the previous mayor of Vepberg before it fell. I trust that person with this item, mainly in regards to their means of storing it and hiding it. However, since you have it, I assume that their means to protect it were not enough to stop you. Another.
That's accurate. It didn't
More
help that we used it
controversial.
against the beast that was protecting it, but yes.
There is a more controversial option, but maybe a lot more safer. How long have you lived in Oskarval, Normalists?
I believe we are approaching my 60th year.
In that case, do you recall the burglaries the library faced around 50 years ago?
Aye.
There was a person at the head of those, which was often recalled as the Blue Wizard at the time. That is the person I trust with that item. Where you may
Interesting.
find that person is a little more obscure, but I have reason to believe they are involved with a particular cult. However, that cult is, well, to call it a cult more of a technicality, but I would trust them with that. Now, where you can find that person is, again, a difficulty since they're someone who's travels around per se. But if you know any of folks in the cult of Zomtos, it may be of help to find that person. That being said, those two options might not be perfect for your circumstances. Do you, since Nor's, quite a while away, albeit, maybe you visited it there on your trek to Vetberg on the way back. I'm not sure. There are maybe some others, but it's a little more complicated. The library again. We could take such a thing, but I have a feeling that it's not something. Well, if it was found out that the library was holding such a thing, and not giving it to V, sending it out to Gress, it would have very, very bad consequences, and would be viewed as treachery against the state, or there's such another word for that. Yes.
Your hesitance. I do think we should forego it. In this sense, the Kingdom of Athens, I'm not perfectly aware of the world environment, but I am aware that the Kingdom of Athens continues its expanse outward, and as
What's
we
the
are...
Kingdom of Athens?
Am I misremembering? What is the
It
kingdom?
says the Alton Kingdom.
Alton,
I
I'm
have
sorry.
some
It's
Greek
Alton.
kingdoms
It
way
is
farther
Alton.
south if you're
It's
thinking of
Alton,
that.
Alton. I misremembered. Apologies.
Yeah.
The Alton Kingdom is continuing to expand. And doing so not peacefully. I want to be able to protect my home nation. And
I'll say another controversial thing. This war, it wasn't through Alton aggression. It was through Gresshelm aggression. That's how it began. We just kind of initiated, but the early conflicts were definitely Alton against us in regards to, well, I mean, you've been to Vetberg, but our taking of Waldsee is what really changed things. And we had taken plenty of things. I don't view this as a one-sided way to either degree, but I guess in terms of the current happenings, you're not wrong. I actually probably should be more clear. I might not be as patriotic as you are, and that's something I should probably maybe... I'm only really telling you due to the secure nature of this chamber, per se. I care greatly for this library, but I don't necessarily, I'm someone who... This library is what I care about. I'm not someone who cares for the, who's proud as a civilian, or whatever term you wish to use, as, within the Jarldom of Gress. But that's just me. Those are my circumstances. With that in mind, I'll give you some options. You could either... I'll take the egg. I can pay you around... I think 10,000 gold. I can do that. Then in regards to the blade, I think what we can go about doing is there's a couple these are the options. One, you give it to me and I will give it to someone to take out of the city, and they will try to get it to one of the two people I mentioned or a different party member. Two, if you know someone trusted that you are willing to take that item and take it to somewhere safe, go for it. 3, you keep on to it for the time being, and I would try to get it into the hands of the mayor of Nor, or someone else of great trustworthy note for that. 4 would be what would be giving it directly to the Kingdom of Gresshelm. You would likely get at least... they may likely give you 100,000 gold for such a thing, or greater amounts. I'm not even sure. Amounts enough to buy a great ship or further.
Its coin is not my motivator. It is merely a means to the end to me. I'm not looking to line my pockets. It was just something that helps us move forward in our journey. That was the entire intention here. I believe 10,000 for the egg is sufficient, and it is a burden off my mind knowing that it'll be studied and taken well care of here. As far as the blade goes, it's, as you may imagine, terribly dangerous to keep around you. Which is another reason I wanted to part with it so feverishly. If you can acquire me 2 high-level scrolls, I can transport this at some point to the mayor of Nor. But those scrolls are necessary for me to feel safe traveling. And he air quotes, with this item on me. The scrolls in question I'm looking forward for are for a spell I am not yet of a caliber to cast. If you were to grant me the spells of... There's 2 I can think of that would suffice potentially. We learned early on that this sword does not like to be kept in extra dimensional places, such as a bag of holding. Potentially using the spell of Leomund's secret chest, or more, that one may work to hold it, though it is truly a guess. A more solid guess would be if I had access to the demiplane spell and was able to place it in a demiplane of my own making and retrieve it at a later date with the second scroll that only I would know the entrance to and the access therefore of. I believe a demiplane would be able to contain its abhorrent energy.
Perhaps I have people who I trustworthy who could do such a thing. I should mention it's more so I'm making the choices and saying what I am within regards to make sure I do not put unnecessary burdens on any of my staff or any of them I work with. But I could get that done on my end. I'm not to say that I'm a wizard in regards to those things, but I know some people within the library and university who can cast those, could be able to do that. However, getting it to Norvo, but is a, well, actually, how do I even state this? There may be other means that could be a little quicker, or not quicker, but different. But there's the thing to himself. Nornalis,
Yes.
do you know where Nor is?
You have to make me roll a check. Myself, the player character, does
I'm
not.
asking you, and if you don't know, I'll have you roll a check.
I do not know, no.
Okay, rolls of... Well... there's a chance that maybe before you joined the party you would have been there, but...
I mean, it's as
but maybe
it's as
not.
simple
It's
as knowing
it's
maps
an island
now.
town, so maybe not. But
It's as simple as
roll
knowing a map now.
roll history or maybe survival. I mean, it would be something you'd see on a
Nope.
map, to be clear.
I nat
Okay,
one.
Sardonyx. Would... trying to think if you've been to... yeah, Sardonyx, roll history too. Sardonyx, are you here? Sardonyx. Hello?
You are muted, Sardonis, if you're trying to talk. Alright, I'm gonna say they're not here currently.
Alright. Did you ever well, actually, guess you hadn't.
Is this location really that big of a deal? I'm not certain what the
Yeah, it
huge
matters
hang
a
up
little
here.
bit. It would be meaningful if you knew where it was, actually, a lot by a lot. He looks to you. If I might happen to know someone who might be traveling in that direction, but the main bit is, I think if you were talking direct containment, we can contain here the library. It's just there is always that minor risk that something happens, and it would be very bad if it was found out.
Yes, no, I would not want that to happen. The library is the second most important thing in my life to me, so I do not wish to put it under unneeded risk.
I should mention that the mayor of Nor is someone whom is trusted amongst this kingdom in regards to caretaking that blade, as in, it should be stated that I think that it could theoretically end up in the hands of people that way, but most likely, if it's by that person, they have full control of it from that situation, and the Jarldom will not be in a place where they can argue against or the standards that that person has in mind for that blade due to agreements that span hundreds and hundreds of years.
Good. Perhaps would you, you heard of my recent arrival through the teleportation circle. I am able to use that magic now. Would
Yes.
would you be knowing or able to make a rune in which I could teleport to the mayor? Perhaps. It is something I could do.
It would have to be. It would have to be done therein. That being said, there is the closest ones, from my understanding, are in Talev. There's also one in Jokelsfel, which more so from my understanding is in the ruins. It's within the Jock Forest, not too far from Jokelsfel, but that would probably be the closest one. If you were able to get a boat off that island, which from my understanding, you could reasonably find one, albeit not to say there's ports there, since it's, well, there sort of is, but you could possibly find some means, albeit I've heard that there are friendly whale-like creatures that can sometimes be offered in that most parts. But the main bit, though, is that location you could probably teleport to and make your way to Nor via a boat, if one would need to do such a thing.
I believe we are actually 3 days from now. We are looking to set out to Jokelsfel, so I guess we will just attempt to be careful and make that a stop along the way. It's not ideal, but
Nor is south of Jokelsfel, I will say. If you intend to go head north, or I don't know where you're heading, to be honest, but if you are heading
in the
to
direction of
Jokelsfel,
Flat Out.
Ooh.
Yes. You see
you
why
can
I wish to get it off
it
of
wouldn't
me.
be too bad. It's not. Nor's not that far south of that. Nor's let me think. What? He kind of pulls out a little mini atlas he has,
Okay.
and he kind of scrolls through it a little bit. It's around 15 to maybe 14 to 13 miles south of Jokelsfel, and that's if you're talking Jokelsfel being the very north of that island. It wouldn't be too bad.
I suppose that's that then.
Yes, albeit I want to simply say I thank you for following my views in this. I understand that having view discrepancy on Gress is a controversial subject.
I understand. Politics are always frustrating. That's why I kept my nose in the book all these years. It's much simpler when you can just read and understand.
I also will say, as long as one last thing, is that I what I think it is?
Yes.
Okay. There are some people in this library department who would know that more than I. I've never directly interacted with such a thing, but I know of, as in, I'm, despite my prestige and circumstance, haven't interacted with it directly, but I know of its circumstance. I am one of a few that are privy, but I haven't the knowledge as many as some. There are some people here who may, how do I say this? May have issue with you having it in the context you do, but I will state that they can be understanding. Just be careful within the library, because there are some that are watchful. I will also state, though, that, well, two things. If you ever intend to return it, I would simply say you could anonymously take it to the Mimis Brunner, our sacred well. Dropping it off in that location is a very reasonable place for it to be safe, for that is what the intended purpose of that well is, to some degree. Additionally, I would be wary of those of the Skeg clan. There are some
That is those that
within-
follow Odin? Is that the
Yes,
correct?
it
Okay.
is quite a large clan, so I should specify I'm referring to those who are trained in magic from there. There is a society, or more so school of mages in Gress, and I've seen a handful here and there here in Oskarval. More so, I saw one recently. They were bald the other day. I would be careful amongst them. Those, if you see any, for they might have an understanding of what that is. And if it is revealed that our clan has been caring for and been in the use of that item for 1,000 years, it would cause possibly a civil war, one that we would not win.
Trust in me, I will not be letting anyone else know of this eye.
That is most likely a good idea, albeit it depends on circumstance. If that is all, they take the egg and they kind of go to concierge.
No, sorry,
and
there
they
is
get you
one
some
last
pretty
thing.
good.
These items are rare, but not as dangerous. And go ahead.
Oh, so you go ahead. Actually, you can go ahead.
I plan to read at least one or two of these before I leave, but I would like to leave them in the library's care as a donation. This can be a monetary value, or it can just be to the library. That matters not too much to me. But I will lay them out on the table and show you them. And he lays down the 3 stat increasing tomes and manuals.
Okay. That is of worth an interest to me. When you are done reading them, or whatever purpose you are done with them, we will take them. There are particular... there are special collections where we store such things. Typically in the magical texts and services, there are some specialized vaults within there that we keep such things for.
Yes, no, I imagine that.
Special purposes, yes.
Well, after I have read them, they will not be available for another 100 years, unfortunately, but...
Yes. I will say, sometimes we have some, sometimes we'll put those in, like, the normal library just for shits and giggles, but, yeah.
But yes, I will be donating these before I leave. And if there is a value tied to them, excellent. I can use that to fund my travels further. But I believe I've brought many a boon to
But
a boon and a danger to the library. So I'd wager that my expedition to Vetberg was more successful than anyone anticipated.
I can see that. Do you have any other things to ask of me here?
No, that is all.
Okay. Then I guess I'll see you never. Well, I might see you again. Sometimes, who knows? But thank you for discussing this with me. This is of great help. You can receive your money by talking to the concierge there, and explaining your circumstance. Tell them
Excellent.
the code. Blah, 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 blah,
Yep.
blah, blah. Okay, good. But yeah. So you guys would exit the. First of all, wait. Sardonyx, are you here? I just wanted to know if you were been listening to this. I don't know if you
Yes,
didn't respond last
I-
time, so I didn't know what happened.
Yeah, we started talking to you earlier, and you were completely not responding.
Yeah, for full context, since you were there, you could have, if you wanted to have cut off or been part of that conversation, that was fully something you could have done. I know it was kind of back and back. And a long monotorized.
I was chilling.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so you guys would left the room, they'd go your separate ways. You would go to the concierge, and you would end up getting the gold.
Okay.
You would now.
Do we
I
want
would
to take a
assume you
step
guys would
back
be kind
from the
yeah.
twosome and see if Abaddon, Zevabu, and Koravim were doing anything back at?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
There is still some stuff I gotta get you guys.
Yeah.
obviously
No.
the
But I just want
picking,
to.
but I'll get to this.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Korim, Jevabu, and Abaddon. I think at least was Abaddon reading one of the tomes?
No.
Oh, who was? reading
Wait,
the
yeah, I
tomes?
did.
All the
I read
tomes
the
have already.
entirety.
All the tomes have already been read.
Really? Oh.
They were read
Oh,
on the
is this
boat
the end
trip.
of these
Oh,
3
like that.
days, or is this
Yeah.
do people do it over
No.
the course
They
of
were
the,
read.
boat
They
ride
were
that
on the
discussed?
boat. They read it on the boat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, we were discussing this because you couldn't have read the scrolls during that time because everyone else was doing it. Okay, yeah.
Correct.
In that case, Abaddon, Jevabu, and Korim, what are you guys doing? In general over the course of 3 days, but also like right now as when some of the other party members went to the library that day.
Well, you guys, we still need to do some shopping. You guys want to go anywhere? Want to have some fun? Drink something? Guys?
Thomas could be AFK. Korim or Dre said they weren't. Oh, okay. Oh, so you guys are here. Okay. Do you have responses or?
Forgive me, but I'm not in the mood for fun. I must take a little time to get my bearings. And I'd say, do you know of anywhere suitable to house me, given how big I am in?
You guys are, you'd be just outside Normalis's house, I think. I don't think they have like a private stables or anything.
Okay, where's can you like?
Yeah.
Where's Nordlis's house on the
Yeah.
Oskarval here? Okay, it's up
Next
here.
version of this map I make, I'll label it with the name they've mentioned.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
maybe I'm like sleeping in like one of the corners here or something.
Yeah.
And I guess my next biggest concern is like what I'd
They
be
might
eating.
be talking.
Hmm?
By the way, they might be talking to you like while they're in the house looking out the window.
Sure.
Okay. you would have you have cash, but other people you'd be able to have you or other people in case you don't want to move around too much and for fear of the Betrayal clan that might be tracking for you. You're not sure. That would be a thing that you might be kind of scared of. Would be able to
Would I
purchase
be
also
able to
knife
like
for you.
leave? Would I be able to leave during the day to like go out and graze? Because honestly, I'd probably be eating like
Well,
grass
so
or hay.
sorta.
Okay.
The idea about this general area is this particular like the area about around the settlement is it's kind of like poor. It's basically like an area that was historically like over forested and is known as
Okay.
a ox waste. So there's some like there's some grasses and whatnot like but there's a lot of stuff that's not quite as healthy and there's not
Okay.
a little bit of environmental damage here and whatnot. But
There's a lot of brown in that area on the map.
yeah,
Okay.
like a good 5 miles south, you guys would be in better grassland though.
Stew. You could eat stew.
Yeah, that too.
Mhm.
Yeah, that really easy food to make in bulk.
Is there any meat in this stew?
Hopefully.
I do not eat meat.
Nabadon looks at you very surprised and is like, what the fuck do you eat?
Well, whatever we can get. Mostly grass, berries if I can.
But what about fish?
Well, you see, Matt, we're Emmas are kind of divided on fish. Me personally, no, but there are mammoths that do.
It sounds like you're lacking a source of protein in your diet.
Yeah. Besides, you're fucking gigantic. How do you keep up?
They don't. They probably don't.
You're hungry, mate.
Nuts? Do you have nuts?
Yeah, too.
I was just
sorry.
waiting for it. I'm
I'm
like,
sorry.
I am like
I'm sorry.
fucking bated breath. I'm like, I know
so
exactly.
sorry.
Like,
I'm so sorry.
fucking set up for an alley oop.
You eat like
I'm gonna need
seeds?
more than 2 nuts. How big are the nuts?
They're like average, actually kind of huge, actually gigantic.
Shut the fuck up! I swear to God.
Not above average. Question: do you eat honey?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you like grab the whole honeycomb and just crunch it, or do you squeeze out the honey?
It's squeeze it out mostly.
Doesn't that get stuck in your trunk hair? I don't know.
My trunk, yes. It's all awfully sticky. But I get to lick it off of my trunk.
That would probably attract like a lot of flies. Do you eat insects?
No.
Wow.
We're going the kosher route.
We do not eat. I do not eat any living life.
Corium and Avedon, do a survival check, or maybe survival check.
Damn.
That ain't bad. That ain't bad.
Okay, Avedon, you would get the idea of if this person is from really far north, and you having lived in Furies, you know that north of Furies, north of Ash Hills is the frost tundra. It's not like tundra grass is not it's not something that it's okay. It's not to say that you eat grass, but the idea of being vegetarian and living in that environment is kind of incredible. That not only they've done it, but they are extremely muscular at least to some degree. I mean, at least functionally, because they're a mammoth. it would be impressive to you that they are maybe able to do that within the environment they live in.
But also
Or
they're
a
dying
little bit,
off,
but
so.
not as hard line by any means.
You know what, big guy? I gotta hand it to you. You fucking kept yourself quite well for someone who barely eats, well, anything. Like, I know the North. I come from the Far East, and North
We
of
don't
us
get
is-
much.
Yeah, and the
We
fact
got-
that
We gotta get the most out of everything.
you eat tree bark.
Mm. Yes, sometimes.
The mental image just fucking immediately rubs stomach. Tree bark.
That can be very good digestive if you're all stopped up.
Oh, that's it's not that bad.
Really, it really seems like you might need just a metric shit ton of bread.
Oh yeah, bread. Bread is fucking great. You'd love it.
Right. Oh yes, yes, I've had bread before.
Probably find some hardtack.
Oh,
That
miss me.
shit's cheap.
Yeah, it tastes like it too. Might as well be eating rocks. Easy on the
Added
teeth.
Added a helpful thing in campfire
Nah.
chat.
It gets the job done though.
Like, there's no use buying him a loaf of bread for him to then immediately eat it and still be hungry when we can buy him, like, a crate of hardtack. And then supplement it with, like, fruits and stuff.
Oh, I suppose that's right. Fuck, we're gonna need to do some preparation then. Fuck.
Okay. Before
Okay.
we go too long, I had a question for you guys. Were any of you, I guess mainly Abaddon, intending on selling anything that you hadn't already?
Kind of looking. There's not a lot of shit that I have got to sell.
Okay. Well, if you guys go out, we can do some of the selling here, but we can do the rest, like out of session. Just depends on circumstance. But if there's anything big or whatnot, but we can get a lot of it done. But my point is, for more minor stuff, we can just have do that outside the session, if we run out of time.
It would be possible for us to buy, acquire a spell or two that could create food for you.
It's so funny that you said that because I instantly looked to see if I can learn that spell, and the answer is no, wizards cannot. I was actually kind of sad.
Wait, you can't?
No, it's Artificer, Paladin, and Druid.
No way.
You'd be surprised it's not actually Druid.
You could get that spell scroll from
Yeah.
the store, the Mage Supply. And also, I have prices for the scrolls in the loot discussion channel.
Hey, Quorum, random question.
Yes.
You're a bit of an educated type, right?
Mostly yes.
Can you help me with this fucking journal? I've had it for ages now. Nobody knows what's written in it. And frankly, I'm getting kind of upset about it. And I
I can have a look.
Here you go.
Has
Abaddon
Abaddon
takes
ever
that-
brought this journal up before? Does I feel like I've never heard about
A
this?
handful of times, but only to
Yeah.
like obscure people.
Okay, that's awesome.
I think
Gonna-
it might have
think
been brought up
I-
to you before.
yeah,
I don't
I'm-
remember actually.
I've
see if it's new
100% brought it up to you. 100%.
Did I not? Did I try to use comprehend languages on it? Because that would have been my first thought. Are you sure?
100%.
Okay, I guess I'm negligent. I'm sorry.
All good. Abaddon hands in that fucking journal.
Corin's going to look at the book.
What languages do you know, Corin?
Common sign language, giant and primordial.
I don't know why you chose primordial. Okay.
I was about to say,
Uh,
why does everyone keep choosing primordial? That's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. Primordial is a language that will not come up.
I
Very
think
often.
like 90% of the party has always spoken primordial, which is
Don't
great.
care. Cool language.
Like a language you're more likely to see is like you probably more likely to see Druidic than you would primordial. Just by
I
certain
can't learn
fans.
that, can I?
I mean, sorry. I take it back. In terms of primordial, like Abaddon may have heard a bit because of the like fire genasi where we're from, but like that would be more of like specifically the
I need to be able to
like
ship
the
off
sub
the
the
ocean.
sub language. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh, do a intelligence check then.
Just a flat intelligence check.
Yeah. Actually, no, it makes sense for you to primordial because of Arin. What am I saying? I'm sorry. Yeah, it would make sense for you to have it because of Arin. I'll be yeah. Well, I would just say you would speak Arin too. Okay, you are starting to like get some ideas for what this could be. It's definitely a more obscure language.
Ah, yes,
You
yes, yes.
aren't
Let me just
100%
fix this
sure
for
of
a
this.
second.
But it may be a obscure. Oh, you're casting comprehend
Yeah.
languages? Oh boy.
He's gonna look at it and go, "Oh,
Um,
this doesn't seem to be in a code," and then immediately cast comprehend language.
Okay, so the language you think it. Wait, sorry. Does comprehend language tell you what the language is?
No, I just know it. I just know I know
Oh, okay.
I know the literal
19,
meaning
I was-
of the written.
With 19, I was gonna give you a couple of your main guesses. And then I'll kind of read it out to you, I guess, to some degree. Your main guesses are one. It is a obscure, written form of Minotaur, which Minotaurs typically don't speak their own language, but this is a Minotaur-specific language that is written that you've heard of, but you didn't know was really a thing. Like you thought it was more of a theoretical thing, or like a thing that one guy did once and then kind of tried to popularize and didn't go anywhere. It could be. There's also a possibility that it is of. Okay, wait. First, meta question. Who else did you show this to, Abaddon?
I think I've showed it to pretty much everyone in the party.
Are you certain of it, including have you showed it to Sardonyx?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have never heard of this book.
Fuck off. What?
It has been how many sessions?
Yeah, true.
It's I was gonna it could maybe be some type of like a giant relayed language, not like giant, like maybe you're not certain, but it might be Siren, but you're not like sure on that. Another guess would you believe it's some type of Centaur relayed language, and again, these are groups that typically don't have written languages, so it is a obscurity. But it kind of looks like that. Then like there's like a good over 7 things it could be. This is like a relatively like genuinely obscure language. Like another guess would be a written form of like null. And then there's like a couple other guesstimates. Was just one more I meant to say. Given the feeling of the book, and another guess you think is it could be Sahugin or some other fish-related language from a fish group. Probably not like Triton. It doesn't look like Triton. It doesn't look like Sea Elvish or anything like that. But that's another guess you could make. Okay, those are your general guesses. With comprehend languages, this seems to be someone's personal diary, and they kind of discuss their general voyages throughout like the places they've been, and then it just goes into a cookbook, like a relatively like fast. Like they still kind of write diary entries, but it's like 30% diary, 70% cookbook. It is written in a way that like honestly, if you're just looking at it, you probably wouldn't be able to tell it's a cookbook. It's written kind of strangely. But yeah, it appears that the offer seems to be named Selnark. Selnark.
It is.
Do you want any more information from that? Because it can give you more information.
No, that's good. Corum lost interest when it returned to a cookbook.
Okay. It still goes on to stuff, but a lot of it is recipes that seem to be food.
It is a cookbook.
Okay, good. Any of them recipes without meat?
I don't know. I'm not reading for a whole cookbook to find stuff about meat. It doesn't have an index. It doesn't have anything. It's just some random guy scribbling down random recipes.
Okay, jeez, no need to shout. Well, thank you, that's that fucking mystery solved. Alright, well, whoever wants to go out and drink something.
If you'd like to, you can call it Selnark's diary or Selnark's cookbook. Or Selnark's diary / cookbook.
No, don't.
Gotcha, Chief.
Okay.
Wait. We gotta pause just a moment. You didn't just have a whole conversation about the diet restrictions of Zebaboo, and then discover a cookbook and not go into it. Come on now, guys. Come on.
Hey,
You could not have been given a more perfect segue for this book. Go back 10 seconds. That conversation's not over, please.
Dealing with it because they don't like the formatting. It's hard to follow.
There's no way you guys were invested in this conversation about diet and nutrition, and then happen to find a book written in Minotaur about cooking. Please.
I asked if there's vegetarian meals in there. I can't read that shit. And my translators don't feel like it.
Does it increase the legibility? Or does it
No.
just mean you understand it?
I just understand it.
It is written in their handwriting, which isn't great. So you can read it. It's a little bit hard to understand, but like you know the language now.
You look for vegetarian options in this cookbook, Coco Ram?
No.
You're a fucking coward.
It's like going, oh yes, let me look through this. It has no information on anything I need. It is all literally just in random spots.
I mean, no, they have. I should check. The recipes have titles. It's more like it's not like there's a a thing at the front of the book that says this stuff. It's like they'll talk about their day, and then they'll like include a recipe, and then they'll like talk about their day again, and then they'll include like 6 recipes back to back. Like some formatted okay, some formatted like just very strangely.
That's even worse. It's not even like one to a page. Then it's like one a page, like
yeah,
half of it there. It's like,
and then there's like large sections that are just like journal, but like or like diary, but then they kind of go back and back. Maybe it's more like 60-40.
Oh
like
my
60%,
god!
Like
Ian
rather
made
than
every
70-30.
online recipe where it's like, how do I cook chocolate chip cookies? Back in
Yeah,
my
it's like
home
that.
city of Tennessee, where my mother beat me every morning, my only semblance of peace was when I got to make some chocolate chip cookies. They were like just 3 paragraphs.
doesn't even have chocolate in it.
My favorite part is making them without chocolate.
We're gonna
It gives
loop
me
back to
gas.
Okay, do you guys have any initial things you want to say or do, kind of set stuff in motion? Because I'm about to go to the other group.
I suppose we could, go do some like bulk shopping, or like buy some scrolls that can help us with the food situation for the big man.
Yeah, I suppose that's smart.
Okay, so what I'll say, I'm gonna.
Guess we're going to go buy scrolls.
You guys can. So I put in the Discord the scroll prices. If you also want to buy potions, there's potion prices there. But if you want to look for other potions, let me know because I could. We'll probably do have more expensive potions there. And then you can use for like food and whatnot. You can use the prices that are in like the core rulebook. Albeit, we can discuss some things if there's more stuff. Okay, I'm gonna quickly go back to the group for 2 people, Sardonyx and Norlis.
Yes.
Okay, quick question.
Yes.
You were intending to sell the Electrum
Yes.
How much was... I feel like when I gave this to the party, I feel like I would have done something in order to make it clear how much it would be worth. How much of it is there? And
10 20-pound ingots.
okay,
I'd,
this is, I
I'd say
believe
like
in the
roughly
core
100
rulebook.
gold each.
Is there prices for this in the core rulebook? I think there might be as a
I-
trade card.
Here, let me.
I put a reference to it in the chat.
Okay.
Here is when
If
we
that
found it.
reference is
I
decent,
think this
then-
is what
oh.
you referenced. Copy message
Yeah,
link.
that should be good.
That is all you
you could-
sent us. When we
How
searched.
how large of a bars?
20 pounds.
Oh, fuck. Why did I say
I'd-
20-pound bars? Why
I'd
did
say
I
like
give you that
100
option?
gold each.
Yeah, that seems... Well, if a 5-pound... Oh, I see. Oh, that was for silver... There was an electric bar. Okay.
That's a 2-pound. That's a
for some reason,
two-pound bar.
Okay, yeah, it probably would be 100 gold per bar, yeah. Oh, I thought you said it's a...
It's a 20-pound bar.
Yeah,
There's
that
10
seems
of 'em.
reasonable. That, yeah,
I was
100 gold
lugging
per bar would
200
be-
pounds of fucking bars around.
So I'd say that you'd be able to turn those into the kind of sell them essentially to the library through the runesmithery. And then while you're at the runesmithery, I assume you guys would try to do something in regard to Claire's sword. In regard to that, there's a couple different stands in the runesmithery. The runesmithery is a place where they create and manage runes, but they do a bunch of other stuff, including things like dealing with certain mild curses on items, like doing stuff in regards to what you call it, what in the world am I thinking of? What's it called if you write, like, if you have carvings on ivory that's small? What's
Engraving?
that called? What you call
Engraving?
that? Well, engraving, no, something more specific, a more specific term.
Runes?
For engravings on ivory. What is that called?
The specific word does not matter.
Okay.
Because
Well-
I don't know it. I can picture what you're saying, though.
Okay, but they also have stuff for
Carving?
there's a really weird term for it. Whatever, it's fine. I'll think of it in a second. But they have engraving, like stuff for like engraving and all sorts of a greater variety of things than you were expecting, including expecting. But you guys would walk around a little bit, and Norlis would kind of, you both kind of
Was
would
it
have an
Scrimshaw?
understanding of, like a guesstimate.
Was it Scrimshaw?
Yeah, Scrimshaw. That's what I was thinking of. But you guys would eventually kind of get up to, a guesstimate of a couple people who could help you. And there's one person who deals with what seems to be magical swords and runic imagery with them and a couple other things. This guy is like here in the library, but he also seems to be someone who like both is a blacksmith and has some type of like degree at the university. It might be a professor. He's a storied person. But I'm gonna get you a ref for him in a second. But you would get to a stand. They would kind of look to you and be, may I help you?
Yes, my name is Norlis Andrin. I am a librarian and scholar here at the library. My good friend Miss Nicholas here has a interesting item they'd like to see if you could shed some light upon. Miss Nicholas, if you'd like to take the lead in this conversation.
She takes out her sword. You see, we are in some sort of predicament where a good friend of mine ceased to be, but it turns out her spirit has somehow warped its way into her sword.
May I see? Well, interesting. May I see the blade?
Of course, she hands him the blade. Be careful. She's a talker.
That's
See.
fucking so foul. Sardonic. She's a talker.
I see this is of Cardinian make, albeit the person within here seems to already be telling me that. I can see what I can do. It may take me some time. When would you need this back? Or, sorry, when would you be expecting this? Will you be in the town for around a week and a half, or no?
We leave in 3 days.
Okay, I can't get that done by then. What I need to do is I need to acquire some specialized equipment to essentially inscribe a grouping of runes that would be able to kind of fuck with how the thing works in essentially allow an opening. But I need to talk to some people to figure out how that opening will function, because I don't want it to be they just die. And I also, well, there's another thing I have. Do you have a body?
Wait, do we have her goop?
No.
I don't,
No.
unless you collect some of her goop, I don't believe you guys did. So
No.
basically,
No.
like, she has had some goopy stuff in her, but like her body was mostly solid, and it was smashed by the troll. And I don't know if you picked any of it. You guys were kind of in a hurry at the time, and then like you also were in a hurry when you on the way back, so you didn't really have a good opportunity to do so. I mean, you could have, but like it would have been, kind of dangerous because you were being chased
The
by
answer
Poser.
is no, they didn't.
So, if you don't have a body, there's a couple other things we can do. Which is, again, why I think I'll need some time, is I can get an automaton or wooden doll. It could be a small doll, but I'm thinking more of a mannequin-sized, with specialized instruments. That would be a little costly. How much? I can do what I can as part of the, what I do for the facilities here, and I am paid by the library to help people out with this. However, is there any monetary fees that you're willing to donate to me in regards to me doing this? Because it will make it easier for me to do this. And mainly in terms of additional costs in regards to materials, and then in terms of if I will need to use a doll per se. If they get out, they do not have a physical form. Also, I should note that this is not my first rodeo with this thing. I've done this is not you think this is obscure, but this is the second time. So actually more like third time I've dealt with this kind of thing.
Sardonic's return to Sir Andren. What would you say is reasonable?
Mess with large amounts of money often. I'm not truthfully terribly certain. I feel like you actually might have a better understanding of this as a princess than I would a scholar in a library. I guess ask for thresholds like what amount would make a difference to begin with? I'm not certain.
What quality of? Well, I said wooden doll, but which would be a thing. If it could, any suitable soul containment unit could suffice, and there are ways to get more pricier ones if you wish to have them. Let's say, go into a suit of armor. However, also if you have the means, and it's of ethical concern. I don't know if I'm the best person to talk to you about this. If you have a recently deceased corpse that no longer has a soul, that's another option, but I don't really have the storage circumstances of that, nor do I think the library is going to be cool with me keeping the corpse in my
No, I'd wager they wouldn't
thing
be.
here. But 500 gold would be helpful.
Okay. I think it's wise for you,
But
Miss
not
Nicholas, to
required.
get Miss Claire's opinion on this. No?
Indeed.
Do they want any of these options to begin with?
As
I
someone who's
will-
sorry.
And ask,
Huh?
what would I will hold the sword and ask Claire what would she prefer.
Well, you have to
this
fill
is-
her in. She doesn't know anything. She can't hear. No,
Well,
I'm kidding.
she's been.
No, she can.
I'm joking.
She's
I'm
been being
joking.
held by this person, so she can kind of hear.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
can speak to people and she can hear stuff. And
Yeah.
she can only speak to one person at a time.
Yeah, I was joking.
This is so much. I'll say this. You guys didn't even get in my armor, so that kind of sucks. But I could any form that can get me out of here is fine. I may in time be able to to get you the money back or whatever. I'm. Whatever happens, I'll try to meet up with you again. I owe you a life debt. I will say though, if you want me to, well, I can help you in the future if any future battles you may be in. But if that all requires what kind of form they give me, if it's something that's we can barely walk, I don't know if I can help fight. But if it's a body like a normal one or something maybe reinforced or something, I could probably help.
Owns it to Moritar? Huh?
Moritar was the
Moritar's-
Black Party blacksmith for a while.
Moritar's the one who picked up the sword.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's that too.
Oh,
Also,
literally,
you did
you
tell
said you
her she
typed
was dead
own.
when you picked it up, and she got spooked thinking she was, like, in purgatory. And you kind of also framed it like if she wasn't dead, she was going to go to purgatory or, like, heaven or wherever it is soon. So that didn't... She probably has a negative opinion of you because of that.
She'd
Or
probably,
she had in the
she'd probably
past,
be
but
in a
she's reading my
crawl in the fucking troll's like ass crack by now.
That would have sucked, but she was happy that, like, yeah, it's a mixed thing. Maybe she'll get back to it, but it's like she is a little mad at you for that and previous stuff before she died. Not you, Mortar, but you were Mortar. It's a mixed bag, you know.
Is there any way
Um,
for Claire to attempt to reconstitute her regular or her original form?
I don't know if I'd be the right person to ask. Well, I can. I'll be clear. I'm Sir Andrew. Okay, first my question. Has Sir Andrew, like, in terms of the library?
Yeah.
What have they been mostly doing? Have they done anything academic? Like, have they written anything?
They have been largely a historian buff. So I don't know. I didn't put a whole lot of thought into this one before. I feel
I
like
didn't know if they had they might have done like encyclopedia of library terminology or something. I don't know.
very standard librarian stuff up until a year ago.
Okay, so I was gonna say this guy's a fan of your work, but I can't like that. Okay,
No, not quite.
So, well, Sir Andrew, I've seen you around. You're a member of the library. I have good comms with you. And this person here, I think I've seen you before.
1 second, I will be right
Sorry,
back.
Alex. I honestly don't recall your last name.
Hello? Hello? Testing?
One of the wondrous, glorious, well,
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if anyone noticed, but I left for like
oh,
3
it
seconds.
didn't
'cause I-
look like you. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I was
Did
having.
you actually leave? Okay.
Yes,
I don't know
no.
if heard
I
you.
said I will be right back and tried to reconnect, and it didn't let me do it immediately. Sorry about that.
Sorry, yeah. I didn't know if you. I didn't know if you thought. I didn't know if I cut out.
No, it was a my end thing.
What I thought you were one of the Valkyries at the time, so it was a what were you me? Whatever. Even with the point though. I can talk to some people from within this department and some other things to kind of work things out. But because we tend to, how do I say this? My work is something that is quite valued and something that the library has given me decent budgets to do. Any additional money you put in, I will make use of. I do not require you to do that. I will try to get it done anyway. I am the, well, the the arcane. You can call me an arcane blacksmith. I'm a little more specialized than that even. I wouldn't call myself. I don't just simply make magic weapons. I do more complicated things. But we'll see. I make a lot of things. But again, 500 gold will work. More is also functional, but 500 gold can at least give me something to work with based on what happens. I don't fully know the circumstances what may befall this, to be clear.
I will give him 100 gold.
Okay. Do you have 500 gold?
I do.
I'll give him an additional 500 then.
Okay. This might speed up things a little bit. Again, I can't make any promises. Well, I can't make any promises because I don't fully know what I'm diving into here. But I have experience with this kind of thing before, as in people trapped in weapons. So you came to the right place. But I will, I'll work on it. Who would you like me to contact if you won't be in town by that point in time? I can.
You can
Otherwise,
leave.
if things work out, I can tell them a place you'll be if, in like, let's say, 9 days, or so, let's say 8 or 9 days, maybe like 12 days or something, things work out, and I actually manage to fix the situation. I can point the person trapped in here to you.
You can leave any letters, or send letters to my home at insert address here, or, inform the headmaster and he will handle it from there. We will figure things out when we return. But,
I have
yes.
one last question of you. Based off me holding this briefly and what I get, you know who this person is, right? Right?
We have yeah, I'm pretty sure, yes. Correct?
Okay, well, they're not a slaver of lichens, are they? I wouldn't feel morally sound doing a good deed for someone that's not great.
No, I believe they were opposed to that. Which is why they were traveling with us in order to break down that hierarchical.
Ah, okay, good. Because their name and the more so, not to say I recognize their specific, just their last name, and more so the fact this is clearly of royal Cardinian make, kind of gives some clarity to those things.
Yeah, to my knowledge, they were plotting to break up that sort of treatment and enslavement.
Interesting. That's of good worth. Well, again, Leslie, do you want me to leave? Is there any? I guess you've already been speaking to this creature, this person. Well, if you have any idea of information to give to them before you head out to me, go about doing so. Otherwise, everything good on my end for you to hand off to me.
All right.
Norlish kind of just rests his hand on the blade.
Blair, it is Norlish again. We are leaving you in the service of a fine gentleman in hopes that he can release you by some modicum or another. But we will be leaving the area around 3 days from now, and this process is likely to take longer than that, so we will catch up to you when we can, I suppose. Should you properly manage to escape the confines of this blade, you may take rest at my home and within the city until we return, or you are free to pursue your own goals.
I thank you. So much has happened. What did you end up doing with Tearfling? Do you still have it?
We are looking to find it a proper home.
Well, if Depending on your timeline for that, Tiefling was something that I had great interest in. I wished to use it to slay my father.
Maybe sometime down the line when you reclaim your body, we can pursue that avenue.
Okay, well, I'm not. This is a long process. I'm not expecting you guys to necessarily help me with that. I more so would like to believe it's fine. I don't want to. At this point, I'm not sure if the slaying my father is even within reach of my goal. Like, if it's something I can be the one to do at this point. I don't know, but whatever. I'm happy that you've helped me in this manner. Is there? Would you like me to try to find you once I wake, if that happens?
No, you can take some time to adjust to whatever new form or reclaimed form you have. And hopefully we will return back one day.
Okay, final question. Will they let me live in your house?
Will I? And the answer is yes, it is my house.
Okay, are you gonna like give him a key or or tie a key to the sword or what? Sorry, that's maybe a bit much. I don't know the circumstance, but
Before I leave the town, I'll give a key to my house to the headmaster in case this works out.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay, good. It's just it's a whole nother world up here. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. And also tell Sardonyx I'm greatly thankful for them. And even though I have major issues, if you ever see that Moritar person, thank them for picking me up.
I'll be certain to do so. I hope to see you again,
also,
Claire.
yes, beware those whom I was once associated with.
Of course.
And we leave Claire and the lovely blacksmiths, whose name we did not get, possessed.
I was typing it. I was gonna say Dr. Myfan, and I was gonna type in Dr. Myfan like Runefuck or Stonefuck, and I wasn't sure which one.
Can we just have a normal name?
Okay, Dr.
No.
Myfan Stone. Dr. Myfan works for now. I was gonna give him more like North.
Stonecock.
Oh God.
Okay, I'll think of a Dr. Myfan for now.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, I would say that these kind of quests, time happens. You guys get a lot of what you end up wanting to do done. There's a couple other things. Did you intend to try to meet with anyone in particular in the town before you left?
I don't think so. No.
Because I didn't know if you offered it to what's her name? I'll look it up in a second. Where was it? Drell Diveguard. I didn't know if you were gonna talk to him again.
Oh, I'd look around. Like, I'm not searching him out, but I'd keep an eye about town while I'm running my errands. If you want me to roll,
You
like,
would have seen him a couple times walking about.
I would have called out to him.
Okay. I think in that case, like, they would sit high or not, but if you were to, they would kind of retain like reasonability. But if you were to have like offered them to go somewhere, eat, or talk to them or anything, they look like they may have something that they. The main thing that you know at this point is that there's a chance they are aware, maybe, and it's a maybe because there's a lot of uncertainty that they might be aware you have the Eye of Odin.
There's no reason they should know that.
Yeah, as in the only idea is like if they know that your eye looks funky and they would know.
They
Like
don't.
we're within the small group of people that like might know what it looks like, maybe, albeit within the context that no one in that clan's seen it for like 900 years. So
In
like,
case it was forgotten or I didn't say it clear enough, Nornless has his eyes shut
yeah, that too.
at all
That's the other thing.
times.
So like,
He is not walking
it's-
around town with his eye open and, oh, what's this strange man's eye? And he'd probably pick up a point and grab
Yeah,
an iPad at a certain point just to make it even simpler, like within the
Yeah.
first hour or so of being back into town. So
What I should specify, I mean, is if they were to see your eye, they would be one of the few people that not of
understood.
not
Okay,
of this clan who might actually have a chance of knowing who it is.
understood. They did not see my eye.
Okay. Did you mention to them where you were? Oh yeah, yes you did. Yeah. Okay. Well, there's that. In that case, unless you wish to talk to that person further or anyone else, you
Abaddon,
guys
I'm just
would.
curious. What are you doing?
Cutting tobacco.
Okay, it did sound like you were hitting something with scissors, so I was really curious to hear that.
Sorry, by the way, I thought I was muted.
You're good, no worries.
Over the course of those days, you guys would, and keep in mind for some stuff after the session or whatever, we can work on throughout the week for in case of spells and anything else.
Mhm.
But you would have been able to have gotten the stuff you wanted to get done, mostly in terms of selling and everything in the town. I would say that Korim and some people would have been able to buy Jebabu a good amount of food supply to last for a while, and I assume you guys could have done that via a cart, or perhaps maybe tried to find a really big backpack to give them, or some other means, or a cart turned into a backpack given their size.
Well, actually, when we're out on when we're out on the adventure, nature will provide. I can take Goodberry. That's probably one of the reasons we've been surviving up in the Arctic without a lot of food. So I can just do that.
Okay, well, I still think they would buy some stuff. Moritar? Why would Moritar sit? This is Moritar checkup of it. Oh yeah, they have a sending stone.
That's why I rolled
forgot they had a
percentile.
Wait, I actually completely forgot they had a sending stone.
I will respond to that at some point soon.
Okay.
Yeah. You kind of went. It's like, oh yeah, yeah, just sending stuff.
Okay. Now, you guys also, again, after the session, if you want to do any other additional shopping and whatnot, and this includes like magic. If it's magic items, we can like buying and selling. We can discuss that maybe towards the end of the session, like after the session or throughout whatever. But I think most people have done what they want to do in regard to that. Finally, you guys would be in a position where, after those days, you would be ready to set forth. Were you all 100% sure on your destination? Because you could go to Talev, but Talev's a lot farther south. And I'm expecting you did not go to Talev.
At this current point, which is closer to the mayor of Nor? Talev or Jeb blah 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 blah? Jevelbach.
Jokelsfel.
Thank you. Jokelsfel.
Jokelsfel a little closer. Either way, you would have to get there via boat. Talev is, let's see. It's like around 25-ish miles to Nor. 5, 10, 15.
Can you ping it on the map? I see where
25.
Talev is.
So Talev's here,
Yes.
Nor is here, Jokelsfel's here. Jokelsfel's a lot closer to Nor.
Okay. Okay.
The other things is just to quickly get some stuff up the table. Would Korim have specified to anyone where their, other than like Jokelsfel, where their intended goal is? Not
No.
what it was, but just okay. So they just somewhere in this general area. Okay.
Yes.
And Normalist, other than saying Flat Elk, would you have ever specified where your goal is?
No.
Okay. Given meta-wise, the last thing you saw was a bit, at least 10 miles away from Flat Elk. Okay. So, within that means, I would say that you guys would, at the end of the session, or sorry, the end of, I guess, those 3 days, said your goodbyes to anyone of interest and gone to the library again with the intention of essentially checking out the scroll for what was it for the area near Jokelsfel, and then copying it and doing the means you need to, and then going to a acceptable location. Either one of you could either rent a room at the library or do it in his house with chalk and other circumstances to create the to use a spell, and teleport to that location. Would you have done so? I guess I should ask where would you have done so? Or
I probably would have
actually,
found
yes, yes.
a secure location within the library.
For the teleportation spell, do you actually need to like draw out the portal? I'm in assumption you
Yes.
do.
Yes,
Okay.
it requires 50 gold worth of rare chalks.
Okay, so you guys would have got some fun chalks.
Yeah, no, that was
And
going to
also
be
the-
part of my
To
shopping
be
I had to do.
fair, if this is being cast through the scroll,
It's not
It would-
it's not being
Zero.
cast through the scroll. It is a scroll with a schematic on it.
Yeah, it's not.
Ah.
It's not. Yeah, and you guys probably would. Yeah. Okay. So you'll run around a room to do that. Not gonna do that. Okay. And finally, also this means that like, I will say that you would have had some difficulty getting a proper room just because you realize that like, Jevavu's a bit large, so just the library was not really designed for someone his size, so you had to kind of find an odd like side.
At that point, I hadn't
door and
considered
whatnot,
that
but yeah.
facet. Norlis probably would have.
Yeah.
He would have just asked somebody to clean up the rune after he used it and do it in a courtyard.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, my point is there would still be some like some areas you would actually be able to get, but yeah, no.
Yeah,
Either way,
ease of access.
you guys managed to do that, and I'll leave you guys off. Well, actually, I'll give you a choice. You guys want to go for an extra 20 minutes, or do you want to end things here?
I
Maybe
think,
for
I think
20
this is a
minutes.
fine place ending, but
Okay.
I don't know what
So-
what point you're intending to go to is.
What I will say is that you guys managed to teleport to the location. What time of day did you do that?
I'd imagine early morning.
Okay.
Like 8
So
a.m.,
you-
probably 8, 9
You
a.m.
arrive in a. I will move you to the map, but I'm not to say. I'll give you a very. I'll show you the map briefly. But you would be on the like you would find yourself within a strange structure of sorts. That seems to be kind of weathered away in a very misty pine forest. You hear howls in the distance that aren't quite canine, and you hear other strange sounds. This is a disturbed place, and that's where I'll end it.
Alrighty.
We can do boom points, and then we can discuss a bunch of other stuff that happened in regards to like selling and scrolls and anything else that needs to be, and potions for Abaddon and whatnot. But yeah,
Cheesecake, did you see
who
my
would like to do
message?
points?
Cheesecake?
Sorry, where did you message me?
In DMs?
Ooh. Damn.
Yeah. I gave you the gold, but you hadn't responded, so I wasn't sure if you saw it or not. I wanted to make sure you added it to your sheet, because that was your gold. You carried it around.
That's cool.
As far as boon points, I want to give mine to. I'm torn between Dre and Thomas. Dre for being obstinate and Thomas for being clever. I think I'm gonna give it to Thomas this time because I like how he was just like, I can't eat stew, and then just went in like, I do all this, I'll do all that. I really like the intricacy of my character's thought out to the point like I know what type of diet he is. I never thought once about how Normalists actually ate, and I really like that you put forethought into that and like took an entire like dietary restriction, even though it's just superficial detail. I feel like that really highlights your character and how much you've thought about it, and I hold a lot of appreciation for that. That's awesome, dude.
There's actually zero forethought to that. That was all off the cuff.
Screw
And
you, I
even
was
more,
gonna give
even
you
more
a boom
point
for
because
that.
fuck, dude, you're fucking right off the dome piece. Like that's awesome. I respect that even more. I love the improv
Appreciate it.
skills.
Oh, by the way, I'm not expecting you to, or even requiring you to at all. But Octavian, if you want to, you can, since you were listening to this. But I'm not expecting you to. If you're even here.
I am here. What is you want
If you want to
so
give a boom point, you're
Do
not
they
really
know
in
what
the
boom
session.
points
This is not your
are?
first
I
session.
do know what boom points are.
Okay, just making sure.
I think yeah. I think I'll chill out for this session because
Yeah, I
I'm just
wasn't
trying to figure
expecting
things
you to.
out. Yeah.
Who would look to go next?
I'll give mine to Dre. We're finally deciphering what that fucking journal says.
Okay. Who would like to go next after it? Otherwise, I'll have it be Jepaboo.
I'll give my boom point to Anonymous. For
For what?
essentially having to talk to everyone again.
Yeah,
I
this
appreciate
was
it.
like he was like the kind of. I mean, Sardonyx could.
I
do
live
well
here.
talking,
I know
but, like,
everyone.
yeah. Yeah, he's just in good standing with like certain people, well, because he's literally a librarian,
Mm-hmm.
and also most people you talk to are like librarian
I've
officials
worked
and
here for
whatnot.
50 years.
Yep.
60 years. Oh
Yep.
wait, sorry. Been in the town for 60 years. Have you worked?
Just about. I probably applied like right after I got here.
A very long vetting process.
10 years.
I mean, especially if it was like, they got robbed in that time.
They got robbed right after
Oh.
Norlish got hired.
Yeah.
Unironically. Definitely didn't have any part in play in that. I am the Blue Wizard.
He dyes his fur every day to make sure it doesn't stay blue.
I'll give mine to Corim and Abaddon for helping me consider my my diet there.
What do you eat?
No
No, I
problem.
don't eat meat. I don't eat fish. What do you fucking eat then?
Fucking air.
You don't have a farming culture, so
And then I remembered about Goodberry.
yeah.
Or somebody said something
Mood.
alluding to Goodberry.
Create food and water.
Okay,
Oh,
Sardonyx, do you
that
want
too.
to go?
No, not really.
Okay. I have a couple. I have one I want to give to Abaddon for using this moment and remembering to, or not to say that you haven't done, you've done it a lot of times, just very infrequently throughout the game. And enough that I forget about it, but that's more my fault. You actually decided to ask someone in the party if they actually like could do anything with the journal, and then like we looked out and they actually were able to do stuff. But I'm happy that you, I guess, chose to do it at this time because this is a good session to do that. The other one I'm giving is gonna be a little weird, but I want to give it to Sardonyx, not for things I necessarily did in the session, but more so out of session in regards to your choices to buy things, because I felt the way they went about doing it was really interesting, and I like that their strategy of how they're going about it I enjoyed.
How did they buy things? Was that in a different chat we can't
In
see?
DMs we discussed
Okay,
stuff.
okay.
I have bought 3 level 3 scrolls with my money.
Oh,
2
he's just
sending and 1
Oh,
revivify.
the scrolls.
Was it Sardonyx?
Yes. Okay. I can say it. Like the way I bought the scrolls were random based on utility, combat, and healing. I was just like, I literally told them I do not care what you give me, but divide them equally. I will purchase 2 level 2s, and how many level 1s did I purchase?
Like 5.
As much
I don't think any of
as
them were healing,
yeah.
just because you already knew like the main healing things. or like
Yeah.
or supportive related things. So most of them were either like combat or utility. A lot of them were utility.
My face when she got ripped off of the level 1 scrolls.